Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. In today's video, we're talking all things responsibilities and duties of a first AC and a second AC. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So, whether you're a first AC or a second AC, there are duties that are common amongst the two positions, but then there are also specific responsibilities and duties that pertain specifically to a first AC and to a second AC. And in today's video, we're going to kind of detail what those specific duties are. And to start, let's go ahead and jump into the duties of a second AC. So when it comes to it, one specific duty or responsibility that is specific to a second AC is laying down marks. So as a second AC, you're expected to lay down marks for talents to be able to assist with helping the talent know where they should begin their action and movement on their A mark to their second mark and to their third mark and so on if this scene requires for a lot of choreography. And this is essential because of multiple reasons. One, to ensure that the actor knows where they're moving, but also for their safety and assisting them to know when and where to move for the camera. But then also this allows for your camera operator to be able to frame up the talent how the DP and the director wants to. Yeah, as a second AC, this is a duty that is highly expected for you and expected for you to be quick. So laying marks is definitely a duty left to the second AC. Second duties of a second AC that I do think is essential, especially when it comes to the post-production process, and that duty is taking notes. So as a second AC per scene, you're expected to record the scene, how many takes were done for that scene, and then all the specific camera settings and movement of that camera, so that later in post-production, the editors and the producers can see and have that information. But then also in the event where there needs to be a reshoot, we have similar settings and movement that we can reference to ensure that we're getting the same action or the same settings and the same image as before. But yeah, it looks something similar to this, where on any given day we can go back and find the specific date and time when we actually shot the specific role that we were on and the scene that we did. So for this example here, this was scene 142 Charlie. And in this report, we had that we were on roll A058. And this was actually a one take where we actually tail slated. We were on the 35mm lens, shooting at a T2.8 for filtration. We had low con half in. Of course, our shutter was at 180, shooting 24 frames. Color temp was 32 Kelvin, and our ISO was 1250, and we were handheld, no ND. So as you can see, if we needed to reshoot this, or if we needed to add in a second camera or a third camera, that B and C camera can match these exact settings with the A camera to ensure that the image is consistent across the board. Or if you wanted to come back and shoot an additional parts of the scene, we can also reference these notes to see exactly how this scene was shot, to be able to match up the image and feel of that scene. So camera notes are definitely an essential responsibility and duty of a second AC. The third duty that is essential to a second AC, which I believe is probably one of the most important duties next to taking notes is having your slate. So as a second AC, you're expected to carry around your slate and have it filled out properly with all the information needed for the particular scene that we're on. And this is literally for every scene and for every take, and it should be filled out according to the production, detailing what production we're working on, who's the director, who's the DP, the date for the day that we're actually shooting, and then also each role for the camera that you're responsible for. So let's say I am the second AC for a camera. I should detail every role that A camera is on when shooting said scene. So, for example, this slate right here is detailing that today's date is March 1st. We're shooting an interior scene during the day. This is MOS, so no audio is being recorded. This slate is for ACAM, and that can be seen by the designation of the A on camera, and then also the A on the roll. This is actually roll 12 on A. We're shooting 24 frames. We have our production director and our camera operator. This is scene 5A and take 1. So this here will stay like this for the entire run of the show. For the most part, once you have it set up, the only things that will particularly change, of course, are the rolls, scene, and the take, along with the dates and occasionally the frames if you're switching from 60 to 24, or what other frame may have you, depending on the wishes of the DP, and then other information for audio purposes. So yeah, that's your slate, and the last big responsibility designated specifically to your second AC. So yeah, now moving on to duties and responsibilities of first AC. So one of the major responsibilities and duties of a first AC, which is probably the most common because oftentimes first AC is referred or known as a focus puller, is pulling focus. So oftentimes on set, you may see your first AC holding some type of device that looks similar to this. This here is your tilted nucleus M, and this here allows for your first AC to control all the needed settings for the lens, and mainly, most importantly, to be able to pull focus with this wheel here to ensure that we're either keeping focus on our subject or racking focus between multiple subjects. So yeah, and this is done by allowing a motor to be on the lens to be able to either pull that focus closer or further away, depending on the movement of the actor. But also, along with pulling focus, a first AC is able to control the iris, which is for anyone who shoots DSLR, the f-stop, to either add or take away a stop, depending on the exposure needs of that particular scene, based off the wishes of the DP.
Can we open to a two-way floor? Yes. That is it.
Sweet. Yeah, you'll often see your AC with something similar to this on set, or depending on the budget of that particular set, you may see them with something more high end, such as the ARRI H5. So yeah, this little guy here, this little hand unit is very powerful when it comes to ensuring we have all the proper settings from zoom, focus, and iris of our lens. So yeah. Another duty that is typically the responsibility of a first AC. Sometimes second ACs do it too, depending on the relationship between the first and the second AC. But oftentimes, the first AC is recording distance. So as a first AC, when it comes to being on a set, and when it comes to, in particular, working on scripted movies, where you're oftentimes having to match the frame from the position of the camera in its first position, and then in its second position, to be able to match the height and the distance to and from the talent. You have to know the distance, and the easiest way to know that is by quickly just measuring. So let's say we needed to know the distance from the camera to me right now. It's looking like, I think that'll be about 3 feet and 11 inches. So let's say we wanted to match that distance in our second position. We'll know that we need to be 3 feet and 11 inches away. And as far as height goes, just gonna eyeball this here. That looks about, I would say, 4 feet 4 inches. Let's just say, 4 feet 4 inches away. So now that we have that information, we know that when we move to our B position, we need to be 3 feet and 11 inches away from our talent, and then the camera needs to be positioned 4 feet 4 inches in height to ensure that we get this exact frame over to a camera left of me or right of talent whenever it comes to capturing our coverage. So measurements for a first AC is definitely essential when it comes to matching frames on coverage. So I think those are the two main responsibilities that are specific to your first AC. One responsibility that I didn't quite mention is building and prepping the camera, because that is a responsibility that, for the most part, I feel is common amongst both the first AC and the second AC. Although the first AC is responsible for the entire build, oftentimes you will see that second AC assisting with building the camera, ensuring that the first AC has the needed accessories, whether that be base plates, articulating arms, cables, wires, whatever it may have you, to ensure that that camera is built accordingly to the DP and their wishes, but also in a way that's both safe and comfortable for the operator. So I think that's one of those common responsibilities that's left to the duty of both the first and second AC, even more so specifically when it comes to actually being on set in an actual working environment. That turnaround time to be able to have the camera set up and broken down all the time takes both your first and your second to ensure that everything is done both in a safe manner but in an efficient manner. So that'll do it for today's video. If this video was helpful for you in any type of way, please make sure to leave it a like, and if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to the channel with post notifications on, so that when we do post another tutorial, documentary, short, update, or what have you, you'll be the first to know. But until next time, peace.